very interesting to know how this year will pan out. Right, with the rise of the interest rate and the implementation of the cooling measures in the year 2022, all right, what will the property market trend be like in 2023? Okay, all right, many also predicted that there are recessions in the coming year. How would that impact the property market? All right, this evening, it is our pleasure to have with us PropNext Executive Director, Mr. Kelvin Fong, to share with us on some of the potential investment opportunities to look out for and the trends to take note in the year 2023 in this property workshop. The Kelvin Fong, sir, over to you.
Thank you so much, Benson. Hi, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me tonight as this is the fourth day of the year. So happy New Year to each and every one of you. I hope that this year will be a very exciting and good year for each and every one of you here. Of course, most important, I think beyond all about properties here and there, I think we should have very good health and happiness for the year of 2023, which is a rabbit year. I think that's more important than that, right? So can I...
Sorry, Kevin. I think the audio is a bit cracking.
Oh, can you hear me now?
It's loud, but it's a bit hoarse. Muffled, a bit muffled.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Now it's better, loud and clear, good.
Okay, then I better use this. All right, thank you so much. Sorry about that, rest of you.
No problem.
Okay, so I think just now I hope that some of you probably can hear me, but anyway, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Today we have about 600 over people here now, so I think everybody is excited to know about the property market moving forward in the year of 2023. And today my job here is to hopefully give you some of the ideas and thinking process of what should you do moving forward. All right, so without much further ado, quickly let me just go through the slides that I have. Let me share my slide. Okay, give me a second. Let me adjust the screen. Okay, good. Thank you so much. Okay, now without much further ado, let me get started. Of course, today my topic is about what is the direction in the market for 2023. I think a lot of people are concerned of. Of course, just a disclaimer, whatever I share with you here is based on the research that we have done. Of course, any form of investment is always a risk, but most important, everything can be calculated. Just need to check very clearly in terms of financial wise. But today my topic is all about some factual, some of the concepts, some of the ideas for you to think through whether what is the market going to happen. Is it something good for you to look into properties or not? I leave the final decision to you here, right? So where is the market heading to? Can I just ask every one of you here tonight, right? It's not just only about myself that is talking. I hope that all of you can also participate together with me, especially we are in a Zoom segment. Just now somebody was asking how long the session is. I hope I can finish in 1 hour, but I don't think so because today I prepared quite a fair bit of things. Maybe would drag to about 1 and 15 minutes or so. I do my very best, but I hope that all of you can also help to contribute and just by answering me in the chat group. So first question I will ask every one of you here. So can I ask every one of you, how many of you think that the market this year will go up or go down? One up is 1, down is 2. Can you just type inside the chat group so that we can all participate together? Right, let's see. Wow, thank you so much everyone for joining me. Wow, up 1, 2, down. Okay, some of you will say down, some of you will say up, so which is good because why? Everybody has different opinion, and that's the reason why tonight we want to talk about all those things, because so that you can decide whether is it up or whether is it down, or should I plan here or plant whatever here and there. So let the final decision to you. Right? My job is to show you numbers and information. That's my strength in terms of doing all the research work, right? So let's look at the different market first. Of course, you look at the HDB market, you can see that the price actually slowed by 2.1% in a quarter 4. of course, to all the buyers out there, I can only tell you one thing here is that at least you know that the prices are slowing down. But the question is why prices are slowing down. Mainly, of course, the government has introduced some of the cooling measure, like the last one, that is the 15-month waiting period for the 5-room and above. The objective is very clear one. Singapore policy is very clear when it comes to HDB market, because they want to ensure that the price is affordable to many people out there, especially those young couples out there. They must always have a roof above the head. So to make sure that HDB prices stay affordable, the only way to do so is to create some cooling measure. If not, what they will do is what? To pump up the BTO supply. So you look at the property in HDB market. Actually, the last time that was dropped was in 2013. That was index is 149.4. Today the index is 171.7. You can see how much it has gone up in terms of the prices for the HDB market. So what the government is trying to do now is very simple. They want to ensure affordability, to make sure that the price cannot keep going up. So what does it mean to HDB owner? Which means that as a HDB owner today, you have two considerations. One is to keep on waiting for the price to go even higher if one day you decided to sell. Of course, the other group of people will think maybe this is the best time to look at it, because why? The prices of a HDB has started to what? Stabilize and start to probably reach a certain stage at the high of today. So the question is, should I take advantage of moving forward or not? Should I sell my property? Should I upgrade my property? A lot of people are thinking that why should I do it now? Because one of the concern here is that the interest rate is high now. So the question is, should I upgrade or should I not? Right? So, but today, later on towards the end of the session, I will be covering with you more in details, right? As a seller today, what should you be looking? As a buyer today, what you should be looking, and that's towards my end of the session here. But now I just give you an overall view of the market and telling you why the government is introducing you cooling measure at different stage of life. Of course, if they don't do all these things, the only thing can happen is that the HDB prices will go all the way. Why do I say so? Can you imagine in my career for 20 years, right? I never think that Clementi, a 3-room flat, HDB 3-room flat can sold at 700 over 1,000. And this is something shock to me. Why? Because if I think today here can reach 700,000 for a 3-room flat, I cannot imagine 10 years, 20 years down the road, will you actually have a chance to hit $1 million for a 3-bedroom? Wow, this is scary to me. But on the flip side, what does it mean to me? That means $700,000 for a 3-room flat in Clementi, which means that if someone wants to downgrade in the future, if they don't have a good sum of money to retire, they probably also find it to downgrade to a HDB is also not easy because the cost is so high. So that's the reason why the government is trying to do is to what? Is to prevent the prices from going too high. And that's the reason why the cooling measure recently talk about 15 months, especially the 5-room and above. Because they know one thing for sure, that the 5-room and above, or like jumbo, all this flat, right? They know that a lot of downgraders are selling their landed away and buying a smaller unit so that they can still have the space, right? So that's the reason why they don't mind to pay $1 million even in Woodlands area for a jumbo, because they are going for a smaller unit so that they have some to what? Retire. So to prevent this, the government introduced this cooling measure, which is something good in a sense, because why? Objectively, they still want to stabilize the market. But of course, another group of people will not be happy because, wow, then I cannot actually upgrade to a 5-room or jumbo, downgrade to a 5-room or jumbo. That's unfair to me. Of course, on the flip side, they'll be thinking, will the 4-room price be going higher? All these things is, of course, those who really want to downgrade, they want to go for sizes. So generally, I would say that the 4-room will still be in a very stable stage, will not be such a huge up in terms of the prices because of the cooling measure recently. All right. So you can see what the government is trying to do here is to pump up the BTO supply. Last year was 23,184. This year, they are going to introduce 23,000. You can see the problem lies here. Because the volume of the BTO supply was so low, and as a result, the resale market of the HDB has gone up because there's a demand, but there's no supply, prices go higher. And that is the reason why prices move forward in this manner. So in order for them to slow down the price, what the government to do is increase the BTO. Plus, recently the cooling measure. So you can see that the price for HDB is going to be what? Stable or probably stagnant in terms of the range. And of course, the objective is very clear that the government is trying to do here is very simple, is to make sure that HDB stay affordable and of course, to be prudent when it comes to interest rate has gone up. So this is the objective of the government trying to do so now for the HDB market. So for the private property market, so whether is it good news or bad news, last year the price has increased to 8.4%. This year they expected the prices to grow slower, right? Not drop, right? It's grow slower. Why? A lot of people will be thinking, will the prices come down for private property market? Everybody is trying to time the market, waiting for the prices to come down, especially last year, right? But unfortunately, the price doesn't come down. Instead, it goes upward, right? So that's the reason why it prompted the government to do what? To do another cooling measure. So you can see one thing for sure, that the government is trying to make sure that the private property market, it is also to stabilize and slow down the growth. They have never had this intention to push down the prices to so-called to make the price come down to a negative stage, which they don't want to. They just want to make sure that the prices grow in a slower pace. All this thing is it good? I can say only the one thing. Good news for buyers out there who has not bought the property. Because why? Today, the market is stable for you to look at property. The bad news here is that for those sellers, you expected the prices to go much higher. It may not be that much higher because because of the current situation of higher interest rate, cooling measures. All these things will actually create a slow movement. As you can see last year, right? Later I'll show you more, right? The volume of transaction has slowed down too. So why it slowed down? Because first, cooling measure, second, interest rate. But can you imagine without all these things, what will happen? Actually, property prices is very simple one. I mean, I've been in the business doing for 20 years. I've seen how the private property market works for the last 10 over years. It's all about supply, demand. So the question is, will private property prices this year go negative? Will it drop badly? I want to tell you, the problem is supply demand. When there is no supply, there's a demand, prices will still go up. And that is what happened in the year of 2021, where everyone is expected that the prices to come down, but unfortunately, it did not. This year, will it actually happen with the latest cooling measure and interest rate? Let's see. So today, will price drop? I would say that today the price is very difficult to drop. That's why I can only say it's lower in terms of growth. So for those who really want to go for something, you cannot expect prices to drop. Because why? Because there is no supply in the market. Why do I say so? Because the replacement cost today is high. As a result, a lot of sellers are holding back from selling. First, one group of people that is reducing. You can see that the volume of transaction for the resale market is all in this direction down. Why are they in a downward trend? Very simple. Because why? For them to sell for any people wanted to upgrade today, their biggest concern here is interest rate. Should I upgrade today? So they put a handbrake. Now with the 15-month cooling period, I supposed to downgrade to buy a 5-room or jumbo. But because of the 15-month wait, I'd rather hold back not to sell my property and wait for things to change before I buy. The next group of people will be who? Are those people who have multiple properties? Will they choose to sell? They also won't choose to sell. Why? Because the rental market is so strong, they'd rather hold. If they were to sell, they got to pay ABSD. Then they say, why should I be selling? So again, that's the reason why you can see that all these things are dropping in terms of volume. So the volume of the sellers are dropping, but there's a group of buyers who wants to buy, but they cannot find. So eventually prices will grow. But because the government came out with the latest cooling measure plus interest rate, so you can see that the volume drop, the prices become slower in growth. So which means that for those who are actually intending to look for properties, I would say that you expect prices to drop is a bit difficult. Just like this article, you say that, you see, replacement cost is high, sell at a price that will cover my 15-month wait. So a lot of sellers are in this kind of mindset. Well, since I have to pay 15-month rental, then I better make sure my prices is high. So this will also create what? No supply in the market and try to push out the prices. But of course, people are also careful. So there is a two thoughts of mine. I want to buy, but I scared. So because of this stagnant stage of mindset, that's why the prices will grow slower in today's market. And because of the unsold private housing stock also has hit a 15 years low, which means that today the new launch market, right, has also hit in terms of the numbers to be so low. As a result, what happened? No supply again. No supply, you got high demand. As you can, for those people who are actually observing the property market, you can see the last couple of launches is easily 70, 80% sold, some already 100% sold. Why? Because there is a strong demand, but there is no supply. And that is the reason why the prices are not coming down. If the prices are coming down, then the government won't introduce cooling measure the last round, right? That's the reason. That's why you can see from here, this is the unsold transaction number. On average, it's about 25,000. But now we only have 15,000. Which means that there is not enough to cater to the demand. That's why you see resale market, not enough supply. New launch market, not enough supply. That's the reason why prices are not what? Coming down. That is the main issue. Not because they are not concerned about the economy, not concerned about interest rate, but just that today's market is different compared to the past. Because today there's no more speculation in the market. Because people who wants to buy a property today have to go through strict tightened in terms of the what? TDSR. So which means that if you don't have enough salary, you cannot even borrow enough loans. So people are more prudent in today's market. So which is a good thing. As an investor myself, I also choose to have a market that is more stable. The growth is a slower pace. I don't think that a sharp upturn is a good news for everybody because it's unhealthy. But the good thing here is now what we can see here is what? We can see that the market is more what? Stable, right? So you can see that last year, the number of units sold is only how many? 7,000. Compared to the 10 years average is 11,000. You can see that this cooling measure, the interest rate environment, has really slowed down in terms of the numbers of transaction, which also means that, right, later on I will show you some of the interesting information, right? Actually, you look at 2021, 13,000 units was sold for new launch. That time the interest rate, right? That time the interest rate was what? Very low. Nobody is concerned, right? Actually, human is very interesting. I just want to tell every one of you. Everybody always feel very comfortable when everybody is buying one, without thinking about interest rate will go up or not. But today, right, a lot of people will start to think about interest rate because the market noise is all about interest rate. Well, interest rate is high. But actually, when people are buying at this point of time, right, they never think about interest rate. They all think so positive in the market. But today they will think likewise. So very simple. So should you be buying when everybody is rushing in to buy, or should you be buying when everybody is scared to buy? That is a question that you need to ask yourself, right? Because those who are in the market will know very well one thing. Actually, those people who commit during this kind of transaction volume, actually today they all make profit. Especially this group of people. Because why? The market actually turned even higher. Every time when there's a crisis or there's some situation happen, right, the volume of transaction is the one that will show you things. That's why I'm telling the buyers out there, you have a very safe environment now because you know that people are not buying, which means that when people are not buying, prices are also more what? Stable in terms of the market. Of course, this year, the new launches will actually what? Increase Even more, today we are expected about 12,000 new launches compared to last year was lesser. So which also means that the supply is there, but because of the current cooling measure, because of the interest rate economics factor, people are talking about maybe possible recession. But Singapore is very difficult to go into recession because the government is doing the right thing. Yes, the GDP is dropping because why? Because of the interest rate, because people are not spending money, which is normal. But what is good news for all of you here is that there is this supply that's come out to help to what? Cushion off the prices from going higher. So which means that for those people who intend to do something, at least you have an opportunity to what? To look at properties again. That's what I can see, right? So how about the leasing market for the year of 2023? Leasing market has been doing very well for the last 2-3 years. Last year was the absolutely good years. You can see how the prices from here, 7,000 for a big unit has jumped to what, 8,500. The good news here is that you see why people are not selling property, even though the interest rate has increased by so much, right? Why people in the resale market is not bothered about this interest rate? Because they know one thing for sure, that eventually the interest rate will come down. But what they have benefited is because the rental has gone up a lot. So if you are the owners out there, if you know that your rental is so strong, will you choose to sell your property away? You won't. You rather hold. So, and my replacement cost is so high, and I get to enjoy a good rental, then why should I sell? So you can see that the supply in the market is actually not high. You see that the resale volume is dropping, right? It's because there is not enough seller in the market that wanted to sell, because they hold on to it because why? They get very good rental. Even the HDB market, the rental has gone up extremely high. Just that today I never show you the numbers. I can easily show you with the research, but I can tell you a lot of people are holding back because of the good rental market. Good news to those people who want to rent. To this year, we have a good supply of property that is going to TOP, about 18,000 units. That is going to be TOP, meaning that this 18,000 of units going to get their keys ready to go in and stay. But you also must understand that out of these 18,000 units that's going to get ready their key this year, main bulk of the people are actually for own stay. So a lot of people currently is still renting. Once this property TOP, these people will shift into their new house. But the old houses that they are renting now will also be releasing for rental. So the supply of the rental will also start to increase a little bit this year. Why rental price increase? Because there is not enough supply. That's why the rental price increase. So this year, for all the landlords out there, you need to think carefully. If your houses is ready to rent, you want to expect a huge rental increase in prices? I don't think so, because there's enough supply. But next year, you can see that the supply is also dropping, which means that next year, maybe the rental will be, hopefully the rental won't go up too much. I mean, honestly, as a landlord myself, I also hope that the rental go higher and higher lah. But of course, on the flip side is that when it's too high a rental may also be a struggle for many people who rent as well. So this is the flip side of the people, right? Especially those who work for others and their rental is so high. This is something that is a strain towards the economy and the businesses, which indirectly is also hurting the Singapore economy. So it's a plus and minus. But as a landlord, of course, everybody hopes to have a good rental, right? So this is no choice. But I just want to let you know that this year, and any landlord out there to expect good rental, high rental compared to last year, I think it will not be that high. I would think that it's probably stable. Expected the rental to drop? I don't think so, because with the influx of more people coming to Singapore, I think the rental market will still be strong in this year. So landlord, you just need to be clear in terms of what you want to rent. I think that's more important. So this year, if you ask me, is the year of stability. It's the year of safe. So a lot of people will ask me this question, why do you think it's stable? Stable in the sense that because today, everybody, because of this thing called the cooling measure, because of interest rate. Can you imagine, right? Without the cooling measures, without the interest rate increasing, what would be the price in today's market? It will be even more sharpened. Today, because of all these things, it become a stable market. Which is a good thing or not? I would say yes. So if any of the sellers out there to wait for a spike in terms of prices this year, I don't think so. But to say it dropped, it also won't be for all the sellers, because all the sellers today will not want to sell. But to have a very sharp price increase, I don't think so, right? This year you will not see, but generally it will be a slower pace. Why do I say it's safe? Why do I say it's safe? For those upgraders, a lot of people will be thinking with the higher interest rate, it's not safe to upgrade. For me, I would think the other way around. Because interest rate is something that will go up or come down. And interest rate has to come down. Why? Because when interest rate continue to go higher, it's a strain towards the economy, and that's not what the policymaker wants. Once the inflation drop, which the telltale sign has shown that the inflation is dropping, and later on I will show you something that the interest rate you have seen is also dropping, which is a good news to many of us here, because all of us are now stuck with a higher interest rate, but we are seeing that the interest rate is what? Dropping slightly, especially the SORA interest rate, which is a good news to all of us here, right? This is what we see here. So why do I say it's safe? In my opinion, I say safe is because at least today, you buy a property, you know that your interest is 4%. I bought my property in the year of 2020, my interest rate is only 0.5%. Today, I got to pay 4% interest. You think who is more stressful? Hey, suddenly 0.5, suddenly now become what? Wow, 4%, right? What is the immediate reaction in you? It's shock. But when you are used to the 4% now, when it dropped down to 1%, 2% next time, you will feel that, wow, I save a lot of more money. So you don't feel a counter shock in a sense. So to me, when you are buying today at 4%, you are more careful than anybody else. Just like I mentioned, in the year of 2021, a lot of people who went in to buy property without thinking that the interest rate will go to this level one, everybody is positive one, right? So is it safe? Of course, if you've done your financial planning well, then of course no issue. But if those people who are taking risks, then of course then it's not good. But so to me, this year is the year of stability, which means that any sellers out there who intend to upgrade, I also think it's stable to upgrade, not because the interest rate that you are not concerned of, is because the prices are stable. Everybody hope that the market is better, then you start moving. But the problem here is that when the market is stable, when the market is doing well, you also must understand that the property prices will also increase. Let me show you more. So that's why I just now explained to you why I feel it's safe, right? You see from here, in the year of 2023, in the year of 2008, in the year of 2020, these are all those issues. Look at 2020, 2014 and 15. Look at the volume of transaction. All this volume of transaction that is low, right? Do you realize one thing? Those who actually bought during the low period, right? Today their prices has increased. Every time when the volume of transaction is low, the next run will be up. So why do I show you this chart, my friend, to all of you here? I want you to understand one thing. When people are not buying, actually there's always an opportunity because of fear. But a lot of people choose to buy when everybody say that it's a good time to buy. Everybody don't feel that it's a stress moment to buy. Everybody is excited to buy. But when the market change, everybody hold back. This is human psychology. This is called, in the year of 2021, this is called FOMO. Fear of missing out, better chunk, go and buy. But to me, this year is stable. This year is safe. And I want to tell you, if you look at my chart clearly, it only shows you one thing. Every time the volume is low, the next thing that happen is what? This thing will go. And I want to show you one more, which is here. Look at all the different so-called problem. But eventually, after the problem, the next thing is up. So it's your choice, right? But of course, like I mentioned to you, today the interest rate is high, eventually must come down. But at least you know what is the worst scenario. At least you prepare for it. But when the interest rate drop, you'll be the most happier person. But I want you to see one thing. Crisis is an opportunity for many. It's how you see opportunity for yourself. And that's crucial. That's why you can see, for those people who bought in 2018 and 19, these are the people who actually sold and make this kind of profit. This is the time, you look at 2018, these are the time that is cooling measure. You can see that the market is low. But you can see, these are the people who make money during when? Cooling measure, high interest rate. 2018, you look at 2018, interest rate is also high one. Later I show you, right? Look at this, same thing. This is J-Scape. 2018, 2019. Did they all make profit? That's why I'm saying, every crisis, there's always opportunity. And I can tell you, if you look at it this clearly, again, every time you see, this is the 22020, those who have attended my seminar in the year of 2020, today they are all very happy with me because why? Today they see all their property increase in price. Those who during COVID time who take action, like me, I took action in COVID period. My own property has appreciated tremendously. Same thing. Now you can see that the volume of transaction is so low. You have to see very clearly what is your options available. That's for you to see, right? So that's why don't learn from me. Learn from me. You say everybody is greedy, you better be careful. But when everybody start to be fearful, you start to be greedy. I think that's something that I always feel that is correct, right? That's the reason why I always feel that we need to look at information to make decision. For me, that's why tonight I prepared quite a fair bit of information, right, for you to see. So the next thing here is interest rate. So will the interest rate drop? Like I mentioned to you, we can see that the newspaper article saying that the SORA has dipped below 3%. This is our investment suite. Every day we can track in terms of what? The SORA. Those who take 1 month SORA, you can see that it has dropped to 2.57. From 3.29 to 2.57. So when interest rate drop, what is the next thing that's going to happen? You need to know. This is exactly. This is the time interest rate was peaked in 2018, 2019. This was about close to 3% in terms of interest rate. But at that point of time, when people start to buy property during this point of time, actually today they are all sitting on with a good profit. But people choose to buy again when interest rates start to fall. It's always the same way. When interest rate drop, the next thing that's going to happen is what? Everybody start to rush in to buy property. Why? Because they find that putting money in the bank is waste time. That's why you can see that, right? The volume goes up. People are rushing in to buy. Why are they rushing in to buy? Because the interest rate is low. That's why you can see these prices move upward. Why is it that interest rate goes up, the prices still goes up? Mainly because I mentioned to you, the replacement cost is high. So that's why a lot of people hold back, plus the rental return is high. So this is the reason why you can see that I can only tell you interest rate eventually by year end, third quarter of this year, you will start to see it fall. Not because I say so, because this is the economic cycle. Those who have listened to me before in my explanation about interest rate in the past, I share with people, everything goes up, must come down. Especially this time round, the interest rate that goes up is calibrated one. It's calibrated by the Fed policy maker because Singapore interest rate is pegged to the US market. right? So when US market raise interest rate, every one of us here is affected. But when interest rate fall, all of us will start to fall. And that's the reason why I've enjoyed a low interest rate last time of 0%, 0.1%. 2020, I also enjoy interest rate at 0.5%. So to me, it's always fair one. I would not be bothered and petty over the 4%. Because I enjoy 0%, I always tell myself, average it out is still 2%. Sometimes will be high, sometimes will be low. Cannot be always interest rate is low one. Every time interest rate goes up, interest rate must come down. Why interest rate must come down? Every business in the market borrow money to run their business. If the interest rate is so high, all the businesses will not dare to expand and will not dare to grow. Will it be good for the economy? Will it be good for the whole market? No. So you can see that the Singapore GDP is also dropping, which is a good news. GDP drop is also another telltale sign that you should be looking at property. When GDP goes up, the next thing goes up will be all the finances will go upward. All the businesses will go upward. Everything become more promising. So if today you own a property, you should only sell when everybody sees is promising. You should be buying when people are worried about buying. I'm not here to ask you to buy. Please don't look at me to ask you to buy. I'm telling you based on my skill set and my knowledge for all the 10 over years in the private property market, how I see interest rate. I've gone through the whole cycle over here and I know how it works. So the only thing that you need to do here is to look at what do you want subsequently moving forward, right? So a little bit about myself first before I go in deeper. I'm the business. Some of you may know me, some of you may not know who am I. The business for the last 20 years, I really enjoy real estate a lot and my passion is doing a lot more research. And I really feel that my desire here is to share with you how can you build your property assets through understanding financial, understanding more statistics so that you can make a proper choices. And this is something that I wrote in my book, but I no longer sell it. This is a book that I talk about how property is a form of saving, right? So I myself is a normal guy. I also stay in a HDB before when I started my real estate. So I also stay for 5 years and lose my money. But this property has changed my life because I get to know what is called property at the age of 26, 27 years old at that point of time. So that makes me start to really move forward, and eventually I joined the real estate with my wife, right? And today I'm very blessed that because of my skill, because of what I've gone through with all the investors, all those people who buy property when I'm doing sales at time, I managed to learn a lot of great tips and ideas from them. That's why it allows me to own multiple properties in today's market. And why I can own all this property is because it's not because I'm here to shout to tell you wow, how much I have. No, I just want to tell you here is that every of this thing that I do, there is a system one. There is a technique for you to grow your property one. Every one of you can achieve. I myself started from a HDB market. I myself doesn't come from a rich family. All right. In fact, my HDB flat, I also have to borrow money to actually own my first HDB. So I know very well that it's never easy. But I always tell myself, if I can do so much thing, I can achieve this, I can think many people can do so. And that is what I always want to do in my seminar, is to help everybody to understand. Just like this property, I bought in 2017, my wife bought it, right? We bought at 2050 per square foot. But today, I'm so blessed that my agents also have sold their property. They all make 700,000 because we bought 2050. Now the price all is about 2007, 2008, right? The good news is here. But why do we do so? Is because I study a lot of numbers. That's why I'm also being interviewed by the journalist saying that I always come up with different practical tips to explain to you how you can grow your property. And later on, I'll share with you what are the things that you should avoid in terms of your mistake, what you should not do when moving forward, right? For some of the people out there, if you have not bought your property or your first time buying a property, this is something that you probably need to take note of, right? So I always believe, so don't get me wrong, I'm not showing off what I have. I just want to share with you here is that, right? everything can be planned out, everything can be structured out, everything can be done in a systematic and safe way. The most important, you need to know how to do it in the right way, with the right timing, with the right financing strategies. I'm very sure you can also achieve many things that I've done it, right? So today I want to talk about this. A lot of people always ask me this question: when is the best time to buy property? When is the best time to sell property? How many of you are interested to find out this answer one? Can you just tell me yes or no? At least I know whether should I cover this or not. Wow, good. Okay, no, then bopian. I also need to say, because I prepared this for you to know. Right, thank you so much. Right, so I think this is a very general question that a lot of people always want to find out. So let me explain to you. You see, why is it important for all of us to know this? I'm not here to ask you to buy. I'm not here to ask you to sell. I only want you to know one thing: why people should actually grow their assets. When they work hard, they have some money. How can they use their money to work hard for them? It is important, because if you understand my theory, it will help you a lot moving forward, because it has helped me and many of my friends out there to achieve this together with the same mindset, right? So when is the best time? When is the best time? I can tell you, everybody want to time the market, but I can tell you, you cannot time the market. Every time you try to time the market, you are always realize one thing, you are always missing the time. And you can realize it very clearly for those people who have missed the boat many a time. They will tell you one thing: I should have bought it 3 years ago. I should have bought it 5 years ago. Because why? They are trying to time the market. But today, I want to tell you one thing. A lot of people, I'm not so sure how many of you belong to this category one? Want to make money but also scared to lose money one? Hey, please say yes. How many of you belong to this category one? If you are yes, please type you yes. Yeah, me, say me, right? Yeah, I'm also like that. Because why? I buy stocks. When I buy share that time, I want to buy that time. I will say, hey, should I buy this share? The price has come down a lot. But will you drop further? What if I lose my money? So is it normal? Actually, it's very normal. Because why? The key reason is this: because of greed. Do you know one thing? We are very greedy people, but we also very gassy people. We are also a lot of fear one, you know. We want to make money, but the thin line here is what? No, I scared to lose my money. Am I right to say that? I want to make money. Everybody will say yes, right? But I also scared to lose money. Everyone say yes. So that is the reason why a lot of people are stuck. But they always like to follow what? Herd mentality. Like Mickey says, normal because it's hard-earned money. Exactly. Exactly, because it's hard-earned money, everybody is fearful, which I totally agree. So this is the reason why today I want to share with you something that is important. Because why? If you can understand this, you will never think about it as fear anymore. Because I use this theory in me all this year when I own my assets, how I grow my portfolio. I want to make money. Making money to me is called bonus. I choose to buy property based on one thing called saving. I prefer to save money than to think about making money. Making money, I hope, is a bonus. Because when I make money, I got stress. But in terms of saving, right, I feel more comfortable. Because property is a saving. Why do I say so? Let me explain. Building capital is the number one key for every one of you here. Why? Because it's building your net worth. Profit, always fear. That's why I want to tell every one of you here, take profit as a bonus. Your task for all of us here is to build your capital. What do I mean by build capital? What do I mean by build net worth? You just need to ask yourself this question: what's your age now? At the age of 65, what is your net worth? How much do you want to see that you have a property that is fully paid? How much do you want to see yourself that is enough at the end of the day? That is critical. Because if you know this answer, you will know why do you need to build capital. And that is important for many of you here. So let me explain further. As a first timer, today, this portion I'll talk about first timer. You see here, let me just explain to you. In the year of 2018, people who wants to buy a new launch, right, for a 2-bed, 1 toilet, 2-bed plus 1 toilet, will only cost you 800,000, which I bought the property at Whistler Grand, 800,000. I only utilized 200,000 to buy this property. But some people will say, Kelvin, I have the 200,000 with me, but I think it's better I save more first. I want to save enough first before I think I invest in the property, because I'm very fearful that I will lose my money. So the person will say, maybe I decided to hold back. And there's many people who have this problem. In the year of 2022, they say, Kelvin, I'm ready to buy a property now. But I told them, now the 2-bed, 1 toilet is at 1.3 million now. You need 400,000. Kelvin, I say, oh, then how? I don't have. I need to work harder again. I need to save enough again. So, waiting game again. 2026, what will be the price be? Will it be still 1.3 million? Maybe not really, will be 1.6. So he will tell me, Kelvin, I'm priced out. I totally got no chance to own private property now. So what happened? So this person has been waiting and trying to save, but eventually he did not. Eventually he don't even have a chance to own a property. But if the guy choose to own this asset, that point of time he planted 200,000 in. Actually, this property has appreciated 200,000. And with this amount, he actually can roll this. So I want to ask every one of you here. You see, you have 800,000. But now, now you are able to sell this $800,000 property away, right? 800,000 property away, right? You are able to shift your net worth from 800,000 to where? To 1.3. But if you never have a first start, what will happen? You will never reach the next stage. So what do I mean by net worth? What do I mean by building capital? Which means that your job is not about just making profit. Your job is about forcing yourself to start on saving money into the asset. Making profit is a bonus. When the property appreciates, you sell, you move on. Your job is to reach the end goal. When you reach 65, at least I own a 1.3 million fully paid up properties. But of course, 1.3 million, is it enough? Maybe not enough, because by then you cannot even downgrade too much thing already, right? So, but the most important is what? It allows you to keep moving forward. Compared to the first example, who did not take action, actually they lost all the opportunity already. Last time, probably 3 years ago, you can buy a 3-bedroom at 1.2 million, 1.3 million. Today, a 3-bedroom will cost you $2 million. So again, can the person still move forward? They want to buy, but they cannot. They are priced out. So what is the issue? So my only task, my sharing to you guys here is not about buy property, must make sure you make money. At least you start off, even you buy a $800,000 property, this property never appreciate. Until you age 65, it still never appreciate. But at least you have a 800,000 fully paid up property, correct or not? Right? Better than you don't have anything. That's the main issue. That's the main thing I want to tell you. It's not about profit alone. It's about building capital so that you can roll the capital over. So a lot of people tell me, Kelvin, wow, now interest rate is so high. Isn't it more risky to buy property? I say, why you keep on thinking about interest rate? You just need to think yourself that every month you work hard, you save money, you just pay money. It's just that you take money to save your money into the where? Asset. I tell people money inside the bank account normally will get easily lost because you buy this, eventually will lose away. I think put money in the asset. Now I always tell people, got money, redeem loan. Got money, redeem loan. That's the best. Got money, put money in the account, save, even redeem loan. Let me explain to you, my friend, one more thing. Why just now I tell you, a lot of people say, Kelvin, you bought this property, right? $1 million. Why do I say I say, hey, you paid 25%. A lot of people are teaching me to leverage on the bank. Then why do I tell you to redeem loan? Some of you make 550,000. Oh, okay, put inside the house. Big 100,000, put inside the house. Why do I keep saying this? Why do I want you to redeem loan? Because the reason of redeeming the loan is to prepare you to move to the next level of 2 million. Remember, making profit is a bonus. Without making profit, you should also keep moving forward. Just like the $1 million you bought, you don't make money, but inside your account, this house got $500,000, for example. At least you can take this $500,000 to what? To grow. Whether is it 2 million, whether is it 1.5 million, doesn't matter. Most important, you need to understand one thing is called building capital. Build capital to keep rolling. Because you know one thing for sure, when you reach this age 65, that house must be fully paid one. So when you fully pay the house, what do you mean? You can actually what? You have this 2 million in your final account. What do you mean by redeeming loan? Redeem loans means that, like for me, right? My house, I got some saving. Instead of putting my money in the bank account, I redeem the loan and put inside I take the 100,000 to go and pay off my outstanding debt. That's called redeeming the loan. But what I'm trying to do here is not about just redeeming the loan. It's to build the capital upward so that I can roll forward. Keep rolling my money so that I can own a bigger asset, a bigger quantum property. Because why? When you reach 65, you have a big quantum property, you can easily downgrade or go to a smaller property and retire with a good sum of money. That is what I'm trying to tell everybody. It's not about when to buy property. It's not about the timing to sell property. It's about building capital. Please remember this word, build capital. Build capital. That is important. If you wait for your salary to go higher and higher to buy property, I can only tell you one thing. Income grow very slow. But liquidity is locked into asset. Actually, like JL asked this question, I want to tell you, the best thing about it here is that when you put money into the asset, when you need the money, that time you still can draw out some fund from there, because that's called equity cash out, right? So don't worry, JL, you can still do this. You can still achieve this, right? But to me, it's very simple because I've seen too many people who anyhow spend money. They got money, they spend, but they never put money. So I always like to pitch to people. For me, I'm a saver myself, so I like to save money. Not because of what? Because I believe by saving, it gives me a better security in the long run. So to me, this is the way. I've seen a lot of people today can own many different things, but actually pocket is empty. So do I want that? I don't want. My objective is really very clear one. Is hope that every one of you here out there, eventually when you reach a certain age, you get a good sum of money to retire happily. Because we work hard for the last 20, 30 years. I think ultimately, when we go to the age of 60 plus 70, we should relax our life, have a better lifestyle living. I think that is important to many people. That's the reason why my passion is really to share with you guys here. Why must you build capital, my friend? Build capital. Remember this keyword. That's why you can see, right? Making profit is always a bonus. That's like you see from here, right? People who actually do this first exercise, they make profit. If they can make profit plus the capital, actually they can roll higher. But the person who never gets started will never be able to what? To move forward on. That is the critical part, right? So, of course, the next question here is what? As a seller, what must you do? As a seller, you have to ask yourself this question. I want to ask all of you here because today your age is 40 years old, for example. A lot of people ask me, should I sell my house? If today your asset now is 800,000, you will tell me, Kelvin, I don't want to sell because I'm very comfortable with my life. I don't want to stress myself. But actually, this person qualified to have to buy a $1.5 million property. But he said, Kelvin, I don't want to, because why? I want to be careful. I want to be safe. I want to be comfortable. I just want to own 800,000. So I want to ask every one of you here inside this room, when you are this person age 40, by the time of the age 65, if you have a chance to own a $1.5 million property, and this 800,000 property, these two, let's say for example, you have currently is the 800,000 asset, but you qualify to buy 1.5 million, but you choose not to. But I want to tell you here is that if today you are age 40, by the time you reach 65, if you have a choice, if the property, both property, 800,000 and the 1.5 million that you qualify to buy, right? You never buy, right? Your end goal at age 65, can I ask all of you here, you hope to have a 1.5 million asset or 800,000 assets? Can I get everybody to answer me this question? 1.5 or 800? 1.5 million, right? This is very logic, right? Why have 1.5 million? That's why I'm saying whether to sell or not to sell is very simple. You just need to ask yourself this question. If I own my current asset, 800,000, based on my age now, do I have enough when I reach 65? Don't talk about profit margin. Just talk about you don't have profit margin, will still be the same price at 800,000. Is it enough? So that is the reason why I'm saying build capital. Why do I say build capital? So when you focus on building capital, you are focusing on saving money. Because why? To me, it's also the same. Like my own landed house, I always tell myself, hey, got money, I just save, redeem. Why? Because I want to quickly clear the debt. Not because I want to, but I know that I can clear the debt, I can still grow even bigger. But what am I trying to tell every one of you here? Is to tell you, right, if you can move forward, keep moving forward. Why? Because the cost of the property keep increasing in prices. No matter how much you work hard, right, the property price increases faster than what you earn. For those who can understand very well, right, and who has been in the market for looking at properties, you can see how property prices has increased along the years. Just a very short period of time, later I'll show you, just a period of short time, the prices can go up by so much. So, why do you need to do so? Even today, you buy a $2 million 3-bedroom. Whatever the asset that you have now, maybe is a $1 million. Doesn't matter. Upgrade to a 1.5 million. 1.5 million, upgrade to a 2 million. Why? Because eventually, you will have to fully pay the house at $2 million. You will know that your net worth is $2 million at the age of 65. Got profit is bonus. Don't have profit, at least you know very well is what? My net worth is this amount. Right? So at least this is something that you can work on to build your capital moving forward. Right? So this is the reason why I want to tell all those people out there, if you are a seller today, this year is a year of stability where you have a chance to go and look at upgrading. Why do I say so? Because market is so-called not increasing very high, not going to drop, but it's stable. Rather than you go and buy when everybody start buying and the prices go higher, isn't it worse? Now you still have a chance to own something that is low. Why don't you own something that is low? Right? This is something for you to think about it, right? So for you to see. And exactly you can see from here, like I show you this 2005, 355,000. Today, for a 400 to 500 square feet unit will cost you 1.1 over million. So can you see how the prices has gone up all these years? That is the main key. Can you see that last time 1,002 square feet to 1,005 is only this? Today is this. It's a $2 million increase in prices. How to find? But if this person got started off, right, he can sell at 1.2 million. 1.2 million can sell to 1.4 million, can upgrade to this, can upgrade to this. So today his net worth will be at how much? 2.7 million. Whether make profit or not, this is 2.7 million. So that's the reason why I'm saying it's important to see this as time goes by, is to learn how to build this capital up in long run. So to me, it's not about timing the market. To me, it's about building capital, saving your money. That is the key message I want to tell all of you. That's why I want to tell all of you is to keep upsize your current assets, build a strong capital. So why do you need to build a strong capital? So that your retirement is resilient in any market. You don't need to be stressed over market condition, everything, because why? You have a good sum of money to retire. As we all know, if you focus on interest rate, focus on fixed deposit, focus on expenses, I can only tell you one thing. The property prices go faster than anything else. That is the key message. So if you can take a look at what is your current assets, talk to our agents here to advise you further. That's why Robert Kiyosaki say one thing. People should not focus on expenses, focus on setting aside money to buy and accumulate asset. This is 100% totally agree. This is what I've been doing, and this is what I'm advocating, not because I want you to speculate. No, I only tell you one thing. If I don't push, people will move. That's why making profit is a bonus. To me, it's always this in my brain. But most important, at least I plan for my retirement happily, and that is crucial. That's why don't be priced out. For all those first-timer out there, even today, you can only buy a $600,000 property. Just buy a $600,000. Even like myself who started a HDB property, I also start from 200,000 property. Even I start from my first private property anyway is 500,000, right? Start somewhere. Start somewhere rather than you don't have anything out there. This is the concern I have for many people. I have seen how property prices has gone that way. And if you are still thinking that you want to wait, eventually you are priced out of the market. And that is a very sad truth that I see many people are facing. I hope that you will not fall into this trap, right? So of course, after talking so much, I think the next question here is that should we be buying a new property or resale property? Maybe this is also another question a lot of people are also struggling. Maybe I just share with you here. Today, the resale market and the private new launch market, you can see that the gap is how many percent now? 68.4%. So can I ask every one of you this question? How many of you are keen to buy resale one or new launch one? Can you type inside the chat group or not? Resale or new launch? The price gap is 68.4% now. Resale. Wow, see, there's so many different scenarios that can happen, right? Which is good thing. Why? When everybody is not clear, that's the reason why I think it's important for me to answer all these questions here. So, of course, resale, the price gap is that low, this amount, right? This low. That's why I'm saying, if you can afford to buy this, you just buy what you are comfortable with. Just like, for example, today, someone who wants to buy a new launch at $2 million for a 3-room. If they really cannot buy a 3-room at $2 million, then go for something that is 1.5 million, that is 3-room in the resale market. Is there anything wrong? Nothing wrong. As long as you move forward, that is the most important, right? So, of course, today, if any one of you has a chance to buy property, then, of course, if you have a choice to buy new or resale, the only thing that you must know one thing. Today, the resale price has gone to the peak of the peak. You can see for this development, Costa del Sol, for example, right? You look at the price of 1,005, it's the peak of the previous peak. Actually, in fact, if you want to know a little bit more about your different project that you're looking at, right? Just need to speak to our agents out there. They can show you all these facts and figures. They can actually work out the numbers to let you see the numbers to make you feel whether yes or no. So if you are buying at 1,005, is it safe or not? Nobody knows it's safe or not safe, but at least you move forward, right? But if you buy at 1,005, the first thing that you must know is one thing. Next time you want to sell, you must sell at how much? 1,008. I believe so, every one of you here. But who will buy your 1008 depend on the market, whether they will move to 1008 or not. But the first thing that you must know, how much the owner who bought during the initial stage, which is at this kind of level, $500. And total, they have 900 units. These people do not need to sell at 1008, they just sell at 1005. They also make a very good profit. So if you want to sell 1008, majority of the people want to sell 1005, then who will buy from you at 1008? Unless the market really takes some time to shift to the 1008 mark, then the whole market will change. So if today you buy a resale, not that you cannot buy, you just have to accept that this is the price range, at least you move forward. Whether you can make money or not, nobody will know the answer. But at least one thing for sure is that what? You are starting at somewhere, saving your money in the 1.5 million or whatever house you buy, right? But those who intend to buy something, maybe to make profit out of it in times to come, maybe you can see that new launch is the way. Because why? I myself have also been buying new launches. You can see people who bought 2018, 2021, they will make $500,000 close to there in just a short while. And today, the best thing about buying new launches is what, for those people who are buying new launches, the good news here is that you don't even pay any interest rate, especially the first year, because the foundation work is not done, which means that even with a higher interest rate market today, you are not affected at all because you have not paid any installment. And that is the reason why today everybody is flocking towards the new launch market, because the price they can accept. Second, the interest they don't need to pay. And they all know that eventually the new launches, they see many transactions has increased in prices, which just now I show you all those owners who make profit in 3-4 years, right? Actually, these are all the owners who bought from new launch market. So this is something for you to take note of. Now, this time around, I would like to show you something. If let's say today you want to buy a property, this doesn't mean that you need to buy this development cynical, because this is a new launch market that's coming, and this is the first launch of the year. Today, I just want to take this opportunity to show you, right? If today you want to buy a development, whether is it this project or any other projects, what are the things that you must look out for? And how do you determine the pricing of this development? So for me, I look at this 5 very important things. Is there MRT, schools, transformation, potential upside, and risk? This 5 things is the most crucial factor for me to decide, should I be buying or should I not be buying, right? So let's take a look at the location. For those people who are not familiar, this is at Tanah Merah, and it's just directly MRT station. And the best thing about this development here is directly linked to the condo. That means your children go to the school, it will not be affected. In fact, there are many condos within the area, but all these condos are not directly linked underpass to your house without even need an umbrella at all. So your children is all well secured in a sense. So I personally find that location with MRT extremely attractive in terms of location wise. So this is the location at Tanah Merah. And the best thing about it here is connected to all the MRT line. As you know, I don't want to go into detail, easily connected to the airport, everything, right? Of course, schools are all there. These are the main school that you can have. I mean, with schools, there is always homeowners out there, then you don't need to be worried of, right? That's the most important. Of course, the next thing is what? Transformation. Of course, why transformation is important? Transformation is important because it creates demand, housing needs. When a place doesn't have transformation, there is no housing requirement. So when there's no housing requirement, then who is going to buy my development, right? That's the main key thing. And the best thing about this is Tanah Merah, there is no any other new development within the area except this particular project, which means that when it comes to the project TOP, where you can collect key to sell or to rent, right? You don't face any competition at all. Right? So this is the part that you can actually think about it. So transformation at the east, we have Paya Lebar, Tampines North, Changi Airport, East Shore, Coast, Bay Shore, Geylang. All these are actually within Tanah Merah area, which means that there is a pool of homeowners out there can upgrade or move over or stay or rent in this place where you don't need to be concerned of moving forward because of the transformation, right? And you look at the Look at the Paya Lebar New Township. This will create a new group of HDB people in the future where there will be a lot more homeowners going to stay there, where there will be an opportunity for them to come to your place to upgrade, right? Because it's 5 times the size of Toa Payoh town, my goodness, right? It's a very huge town area. So the next thing that I'm more concerned is, I'm more into detail, I look at numbers. Just now, all those things here is all about information, right? But I just want to go through with you. When it comes to buying property, I still look at numbers. So let's look at the market in the resale. Resale in the OCR, that means because Tanah Merah area, this is considered outer circle of the whole of Singapore. The prices is about resale market has already done $1,800, $2,000. Some even has hit 2003, 2009, 2009. And this brand new development, right, is starting from 2009. At least I know one thing for sure, that I'm buying something now as a brand new, that the market already has what? Accepted the current market price. I'm not buying something that the market never accept one. If today, let's say for example, the market only done at 1,500 per square foot around, but I'm going to buy 1,900, then I think it's a bit risky, right? But at least I know that within the circumference of the OCR, people already accepted these kind of prices. Then I feel it's safe. And all the new launches in the market, there is OCR. Is it also not done? Also done. Prices, Lentor Modern, 2001 average. High has done at 2005. 2001, 2004. Amo Residence, Sky Eden just recently launched. This is starting at 1,009. So is it something that is way above market price? No, because this is the first launch of the year. Normally, first launch of the year is always more careful one. So, which means that you have a chance to go for something that is at a lower price. Sky Eden, which is recently just launched at Bedok site, their price also have been sold 70% sold, and their average price is all about $2,001, $2,000. People already can accept. So you are not buying something that is way above market price. That is important. Amo Residences, you can see $2,000, 2002. All these are already done in terms of prices. This is an Ang Mo Kio area. Grandeur Park, which is the latest one, just TOP, right? Prices also has done 1,007, 1,008 per square foot. For a resale and an older development, just TOP probably 2 years ago, prices has already been done. So you are not buying something that is way above market. The resale has already done the deal. That's why you see Bedok Residences. This is a 12 years old development. Also has done what kind of prices? 1,007, 1,007. This is 1,003 because of a bigger unit penthouse size. That's why the per square foot is lower. But you can see that a 12 years old versus a new one, the gap is only $200. Is this something that is expensive? Then this is for you to see. I think the other very important question is what? A lot of people say, Kelvin, if I buy today high, will it still go higher? I think this is always a problem that many people will be thinking of. Let me explain. You look at this Grandeur Park. Grandeur Park was launched in this year, right? 2017, if I'm not wrong, right? The price is how much? 1,389 average. But today the price is what? 1,674. So people say, hey, that time you look at the price, is 1,001 also have, Optimal. You look at Casa Merah, right? This is Echo 1,003. But why I'm going to buy? I can buy a resale property immediately. I can stay. I can rent out the property. But people who bought this, eventually their prices today is this, and the price increase of $285 per square foot, right? But if you look at this, the Glades, 1,445. Today the Glade is 1,530. The increment is only $85. So why people will still pay higher? Because of newer facilities, newer condo, people will still pay more. So do not need to worry about, wow, people won't buy my house so more expensive because they can buy a cheaper. You can see people who pay 1,600, actually they can buy lower. All these condo are just surrounding the area. But why people don't choose to buy here but choose to buy here and pay more? Because of newer condo. The market has changed. People are looking at something that they are comfortable with, right? That is the difference. That's why you see Grandeur has sold how much? 1,009, 1,006, 1,008, 1,007. All has done. People pay 1,003 plus today has done 1,007, 1,008, 1,009. So you see that it's not possible. Now I want to tell you, yes. Right? You see, Grandeur Park owners are all making good profit, even though they paid high during the launch, where the surrounding properties are lower in prices, right? Today, they are still making profit. So that's the reason why I say that that's why people choose to buy new launch. One of the main thing is that because when everybody buy new launch, everybody start at the same price area. So nobody buy below. Just now you talk about resale, right? Costa del Sol, because they buy at $500 per square foot. Those who buy at 1,500, they need to sell 1,800. But this time around is different. Everybody start at an equal footage, so that it make it easy for them to what? Everybody have to price this higher, so nobody will price lower one, right? Nobody will price lower. Everybody will price higher, so eventually the price go upward in that sense, right? Seaside Residences, same thing. Look at the launch was 2017, 1,004. Today is this price. So I want to tell you, it is possible to go higher, right? That's why you see Seaside owner also make very good profit. 2017, 4 years, make 600,000. This is how it works. Bedok resident. So the other thing is that people are worried about rental. You can see for Bedok Residences, 2-bedroom, 4,000, 1-bedroom, 3,500. Very good rental in today's market. Grandeur Park, 1-bedroom, 3,200. 2-bedroom, 3,009. Well, some even go to 4,002. So near MRT station, can you imagine that their rental is so good? That's the reason why I want to tell you, near to MRT, your risk is also lower because why? Your rentability is very easily. Plus, this development is a mixed development. In the whole of Tanah Merah area, this is the only condo that is a mixed development with commercial shop, with so-called with mixed development inside the retail. And that is very convenient for many people. Plus, directly linked to the MRT without even going to the rain as well. So this is, for family, will be very ideal. That's why you can look at the rental market is very strong over here. These are the newer one that is near to MRT station. So you do not need to be concerned of when it comes to rentability for those who this. Last part is called exit strategy. Now, I want to tell all of you here again this. In the year of 2015, because a lot of people always keep thinking, if today the price is a new peak price, most of you must now know one thing. The price today is at the peak, right? At this level. I want to show you one thing here. In the year of 2015, a 1-bedroom is 400,000. And today they can still sell at this price. In the year of 2017, a 1-bedroom is 500,000. Today they can sell at 800,000. In the year of 2019, the 1-bedroom is 600,000. Today they sell this price. Why am I showing you this? Because a lot of people are thinking, if today I'm buying at this kind of prices, next time can I still exit? In fact, this is the chain effect of the market. 400, 500, 600. Today, they are still selling at 800,000. In fact, those people who buy here and today they still sell at this price, they make even more. So I want to tell you, it's a chain effect. Just very simple. Just like people who start off, if they cannot afford to buy 800,000, they have to buy at 400,000. If people who cannot buy this, at least they can choose 500,000. So these people will eventually shift this way, right? Like if I'm someone who is a first timer, if I cannot buy something that is 800,000, I start from here. Then when I make some money, I go to here. Then I make some money and go to here. That's why every cycle, there is always a new break point. So you don't need to worry that today, right? If you buy, you cannot sell. Because every time, if I cannot pay a $2 million 3-bedroom, I can easily still buy a $1.5 million 3-bedroom in the resale market. So who will buy my new launches? Very simple. Those who have sold their new launches, they will upgrade from a 2-bedroom to buy a 3-bedroom in today $2 million. This is chain effect. So you don't need to worry about, wow, I cannot. How long do you think the current cycle will last? I can tell you, Singapore is this way. That's why I'm telling you just now, why do you need to build capital? It's because eventually the market will move this way. Can you imagine in the year of 2015, until today, it's only 7 years. A 1-bedroom unit from 400,000 now is 800 over 1,000. It's a 400,000 increment in terms of prices. Just only 7 years. Can you imagine your salary got increased by so much? Don't have. That's why you need to move forward. Is it a safe time? The good news here is that this development going to TOP is only at 2026. And during this point of time, the good news here is there is no much of competitors because the number of units that is going to TOP is only 4,000 over units, which means that rental, you got no issue. Competition to sell your property, also no issue because why? Only 5,000. So you are very safe. So to me, this is the good time for you to look because you are buying at this year. So you have 3 years to sell. Even if you want to sell, there is no competitors. Even if you don't want to sell, your rental is also very safe because why? There's no competition because the supply is very low. Supply, property price up and down is all depending on supply, demand. When no supply, there's demand, prices will still move. So this is something for you to take note of. Is it a safe bet? So just to sum up, to let you understand this, if you talk about this development, the resale has already done 1,700 to 2,000. The new launch has also done 1,008 to 2,001. So I'm very sure that even the upcoming landlord in other area of the mass market all average 2,001 plus per square foot. This development with a huge transformation, 1,009 plus per square foot, I personally think is a safe bet for you, right? For you to look at. So lastly, I just want to end off by telling every one of you here, please remember that our duty, our looking process is always about building capital, building your net worth. Profit is a bonus. Important is to force yourself to save money. This is always my philosophy when it comes to property journey. It's not just about profit. It's about building your nest. When you retire, you have a good sum to retire. And this is something I just want to share with you here. Thank you so much for listening to me. Of course, I still have another partner that will be sharing with you in a short while. So I shall hand over. I hope all of you can enjoy what I've shared with you. Now I pass it to Jeremiah to share with you in greater detail. All right. Thank you so much, every one of you here.
Hello.